All right, guys, I'm so thankful that you've given your time tonight to be with me. I love that I'm not here alone. Oh, hey, sweet Lauren, look at you. You're all cuddled up. I need that. Couple of things that I just want to share real quick. I'm super proud. Lauren is on the call tonight, and I wanted to give her a shout out, and so is Michelle. Two of our people, Gabi would be the third. Hey, Joan. In regards to the challenge and just working hard and finishing strong in December. So thank you. I will say, when you show up, things happen in your business. And so I appreciate you sacrificing your time tonight to be here. I appreciate the work that you put in every single day. And for everyone that's here tonight, I'm so thankful. Hey, Joan. I'm glad that you're letting me see your faces, guys. I tell you, as a leader, whenever you are training, it's just really important to be able to see community. So I thank you for that. A couple of things that I want to share. Everybody knows that we have our IPA challenge that is going on this week. I would say do it, be accountable, show up for that. It's really great ways and ideas to be able to post messages to send out to people. Guys, one thing that I do every single day, I was looking for my calendar, but my computer's actually sitting on it right now, so I could lift it up a little bit, is I will put in my days every day, like ideas of what to post, when to post. We've talked so many times, hey, Reagan, about our brand, who we are, faith, family, fun, fitness, finances. Those are kind of my areas. Everybody has different ones. And I make sure that in some way I'm speaking towards that as I'm posting and sharing. So the thing that I love about doing IPA challenges is that we give prompts, if you will, that just makes it fun and easy for you to be, okay, like I can do that really quick. So I really challenge you to do our challenges. Every time we put those out there, it is for us to learn to be consistent, to show up, to have different promptings, different creativity, different ideas, to engage together, to spur each other on. So make sure that you're doing that. You saw our convention contest is on its way. We're going to talk about that in a whole different training and conversation, so I'm not going to do that tonight, but I want to make sure that you saw that post and everything that's going on. But there are a couple of things that I wanted to share, and so I'm so glad that people are starting to jump on. That I just want to do a little bit of house cleaning and have a family talk, if you will. I want to share a little bit. Many of you know, Passionate Pursuit is a business page that we made the decision to create 2 years ago, and it is above and beyond our other pages. Some of you have pages. Some of you partner with your leaders and other pages that we have. You know that I personally have a Good to Great page. We have a campaigners page. Andrea has a page. Gabi has a page. So there's different pages out there, but we kind of went to a next level with Passionate Pursuit for just business builders. And it really is kind of family talk, family conversation. It's really where I can just kind of, it's iron sharpening iron, it's accountability, and you're on that page if you're really serious about your business. And so over the last couple of months, I've really been praying about it. I've been lenient in a lot of areas because I love you guys. I want people to be successful. I want you to be encouraged. I want you to learn. I'm a person that I'm a student at heart. I will always be a learner. So I personally love to learn, and I love to be challenged, and I wanted to give that to others. But at the same time, if it's not benefiting people, then maybe that's not where they need to be at this time. And so those of you on this call tonight know that a week or two ago, probably 10 days ago, I let everyone know that I was going to purge that page. We've cut it in half. So if people have not been engaging, if they have not built community, if they are not allowing themselves to be accountable, if they're not learning from that page, then we made the decision to remove them for now. It doesn't mean forever, but that page is really, it's looked at totally different. And the reason that I'm comfortable with that is because we do have so many other great pages. We have incredible leaders that have pages that have everything that we need. And so in my opinion, if that was not benefiting some of your team members, maybe it wasn't their season, maybe it wasn't their time, maybe they were overwhelmed with too many pages. I've been doing this for 6 years, and that's one thing I hear is I'm so overwhelmed. There's so much information. There's so many pages. I just removed some of those for some people because it was just too much. But this is what I want you to hear, because I have had some conversations with people since I made the decision that I did. And I want you to hear that when you invite people to this page, and I want you to, if they are wanting to grow a business and they're wanting to learn, they're wanting to be accountable, they're wanting to find a place that is safe to kind of push out of that comfort zone, I want them on that page. But they have to answer questions. You had to answer questions to get on that page. And I want to read those because anytime that you invite someone to Passionate Pursuit, A, you need to qualify them. B, you need to ask them if they're ready to build in a manner to be accountable towards. And C, you need to let them know you've got to answer some questions. If they can't answer those questions, it's not a page for them at that time. So I want you to hear the questions because you're going to be advising your people as you say, man, I want you on this page. It's a little bit different from other pages. We go a different level. It's information maybe that you don't see somewhere else. A lot of information is some of the information that they're going to see in other locations. But these are the questions. Do you have your subscription set up with 100 PV? Guys, to be a business builder, if you're saying, I'm serious about the business, I want to do the business, I want to grow a business, you have to have 100 PV. That is the very first question. So if they don't, they're just not qualified for this because they're just not ready for it yet. It doesn't mean that they won't be in a month or two, 6 months, next year. But right now, they're not ready to put into their business and become a product of the product. What are your biggest goals for the business? For the business in 2020, what are those goals? How are you planning to achieve it? That's question number 1, has 3 questions. Second question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to working your business on a daily basis to meet your goals? Are you committed to consistently working for at least 5 days a week, 1 hour? If you're not, that is okay, and we're going to love you well, and there's a lot of other areas of community that you can be in. It's just that this space isn't right for you at this time and in this season. What would achieving that goal mean for you and your family? And question number 3, what is your biggest fear or self-limiting belief that you are working to overcome in 2020? And what do you think is holding you back? So those are the questions. I just want you to know that when you're qualifying your people, when you're inviting them in, let them know that there's going to be questions. If they can't get through these 3 sets of questions, how will they ever grow a business? Because you and I know that it is hard. We have to evaluate ourselves. We have to think through things. We have to change our mindset. We have to want to be transformed. That's what an entrepreneur is all about, and that's what this business is about. So working through that and getting to that place. One thing that I noticed as I was purging people is that we all have this anxiousness that we want business builders, and we have this hope against hope that this is that person. And so sometimes we, myself included, we jump the gun a little bit thinking they're ready, and they're just not, and that's okay. And so I wanted to explain that to you. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to shoot me a message, to give me a call. We can talk through that. The second thing that I want to talk to you about, and then we're going to move into probably the most important report that we have been given, the Perks report. I want us to walk through it. I'm going to share my screen with you. It is going to change your business if you will put the focus on it the way that you need to. So I want us to talk about that. But the other thing that I just want to talk to you about really quick is transformation. And Michelle Val, if I'm correct, her word this year is transformation. Is that right? Yes. And I loved that because it's something that I think a lot about. And I know that probably many of you have too, as you evaluate in December and you think through your year and you're moving into a new year. I actually use January as a huge evaluation period for myself as well, not just 1 month, but 2. If you're looking at a 12-month period, I don't just take a couple of weeks to look at that. I take several weeks to look at that, because 12 months, it's kind of like whenever you think about New Year's resolutions, a lot of people, quit in the first month. And I think a New Year's resolution is a 12-month period. So don't run out sprinting. Be ready for a marathon and keep a pace that allows you to keep your goals, right? And I think about that whenever we're evaluating what we want to do in 2020. Don't do it too quickly. Really give your time of prayer, maybe fasting, of getting in the Word a little bit more, of evaluating yourself as a leader so that you can fully fulfill what it is that God's calling you to do. But in the midst of all of that, I've thought a lot about transformation. And I thought about it from a spiritual standpoint as well as a businesswoman. And I know spiritually, whenever I share my my faith with somebody, whenever I share with people who I was before Christ and who I have become since knowing Him, I have always said that for all of us as believers, we should be transforming on a continual basis. If we're drawing closer to the Lord, He is changing us. Scripture says that we become more like Him in the image of Jesus. And so the person I am today hopefully looks a lot different from the person a year ago, 10 years ago. And the person that I will be in 2021 will look different from the person sitting here January of 2020. Because I'm striving for the finish line of what God has called me to do. I am leaning into Him. He is building my character. He's ridding me of some areas that are rough, that need to be taken away. He's purging me the same as I purged our page. And so we are going through that process. And I thought, as a business leader, have we been transformed? And that is a lot of why I made some of the decisions that I did with Passionate Pursuit, and decisions that I'm making moving forward on that page. Because if that page is not helping you and me transform, then what's the worth of that page? If it is not bringing value to iron sharpening iron and being accountable and really being in a safe place to fail in a safe place, that you have lots of support and lots of encouragement, then what's the value of it? And so I thought about that for you and me as business women. And that's a question I have for you. Whenever we look at 2019, there's a lot that we can celebrate. There's a lot that we were maybe disappointed in, spiritually, personally, marriage, business, finances, children. So looking at all of that. But as I think about that, and I think about, for me, 2019, guys, I thought we were going to be a Sapphire team. It's not holding me back. It was a disappointment, but it was also a praise, because God knows the plans He has for every one of us. And in the midst of it, I still grew. In the midst of it, I still transformed. I built my character. My faith deepened. So the thing that stood out to me the most, and the thing that I want you to think about, is as you're moving into 2020 as a business leader, that for all of us, we need to let go of the past, the failures, the disappointments, the things that have happened, so that we can move forward. It made, I've thought a lot this weekend about Philippians 3, whenever Paul says, that I haven't achieved everything. He says, I have not hit perfection in any way. Am I saying that I have hit perfection? But he says, I press on. I strive for that finish line. I am going after the prize. But he says he had to focus on one thing, and that was forgetting the past, forgetting his sins, forgetting his failures, forgetting the areas that his imperfections showed, so that he could look forward for what's ahead. And whenever you look at that scripture in Philippians 3, the striving and the straining that they speak of, it is literally seeing someone that is literally fully outstretched, like leaning in to get across a finish line. It makes me think, and I've shared this before, of an Olympic runner that is literally straining all the way across because it's seconds of who gets first place. It's that baseball player that is sliding into home plate. It is that football player that is literally leaping over all of those men to get into for the touchdown. And that is what he's saying. For me to dive into the finish line, I have to rid everything off of me of my past. It also makes me think about Isaiah 43, right? Of, forget what is behind and see that I am making a new way for you. And so I've prayed for you guys in December. I pray for y'all every day. But I thought a lot about many of you allow the disappointments to hold you back, and you allow the disappointments to bring unbelievable doubt. And for us to be able to move forward individually in our businesses, corporately in our teams, you have to let go of what's behind. And the greatest way that we have to do it is mindset. We have to change what is happening up here. God speaks about it all through Scripture, of renewing the mind, of giving and loving with all of our mind, of understanding transformation starts in the mind and then it moves into the heart. And we have to do that by activity. We have to do it by getting out there again and again and again and believing that God is faithful. And there's a lot to say whenever we say, well, it's just not my season or it's not the right timing. Some of us use that as an excuse not to do the work. And others are doing the work and saying it because they know God is faithful and that it will come. But it's a two-way part. It's not just us praying and applauding and saying, okay, God, get me out of debt. God is applauding you right back and saying, okay, pay the bills. So we have to realize it's two-way street for us to get to the ranks, to the promotions, to the growing the teams that he's calling us to do. And in that means that you are transforming every single day in some way. Growing in your faith, deepening in your faith, exposing yourself to your team, putting yourself out there, sharing in ways that scare you half to death, developing yourself by finding mentors, reading books, doing trainings, and then putting into action what you're learning. And so I hope in some way that is helpful. A couple of things that I was thinking about whenever I was working through this for myself and whenever I was praying about this, of sharing it with you, these are some of the questions I have. Are you letting go of 2019? Maybe it's a past sin, failure, disappointment, negative thoughts, experiences, maybe someone that you knew without a doubt was going to be a business builder and they disappointed you. And then you're just like, then why is it worth it? Can I tell you guys, if you put your faith in people, you're going to be disappointed every single day. You have to put your faith in the Lord. And you have to have the realization that this is way bigger than what you're thinking about. And it's not a transaction and it's not the people. It's that you've been called to lead, to impact, to change, to transform. And to be a change agent, to be someone that helps others transform as yourself, to impact lives can be hard, can be lonely. You have to pioneer. You have to make the way. You have to build the community. You have to be the one who inspires. So think about those things whenever you're like, man, another person disappointed me. I've been disappointed all of my life, if I put my eye on a person. And I know without a doubt I have disappointed a lot of people because I cannot meet their expectations. But I put my heart on God first and foremost. He makes the way. He gives the strength. He pours into me so that I can pour out to others. When I'm disappointed, when I have failed, he fills me back up with his grace, his purpose, and his strength. So remember those things. And my biggest question is, do you believe? Do you trust? Do you believe that God brought you to this business? Here on this call right now, listen to me preach. I'm going to stop, I promise. Do you believe he's called you here? Do you believe he has a message for you? Do you believe that he has a message or transformation for you to speak to others? Where's your passion lie? Where's your energy in that? How do you use your skill sets? One thing that I have learned in all of my walk, from corporate to seminary to nonprofit to entrepreneur, is that God doesn't waste anything. And he uses all of it for his glory. And he calls you to a place, maybe he even calls you to start over, because he has purpose in that for you. Do you believe that? And are you allowing yourself to be transformed? If you're stuck, you're probably stuck because you're trying to control something. Would you surrender it and allow God to do the work through you instead of you pushing to do the work yourself? Okay, would love to hear your thoughts on that. Maybe think through it, share it with me tomorrow, share it, maybe put a post out on Passionate Pursuit. Would love to hear that. But let's move into this this report real quick, and then we're going to end tonight. So let me share my screen. And let's get over to the report. Okay, here we are. Hopefully everybody can see this. Let me close y'all up so I can see it a little bit better. I am on the Perks, my Perks report right now. So this is what we're looking at. And for you to get there, you're going to click right here on My Business, and here's your Perks report right there. So that's what you're going to click on in your virtual office. Guys, I really want you to start seeing your virtual office as one of the greatest advantages that you can have. It is powerful if you will learn to use it. If you are a business builder and you are on this call and you are on Passionate Pursuit, you should not only know your virtual office, back office, but you should love it and you should look at it every single day. When I first graduated from college, my very first job was in marketing, and I'll never forget my vice president of my marketing division. Man, she was hard and she was mean in my eyes, and she made me touch every single project every single day. And she taught me a discipline of I did not walk out the door unless I looked at every one of my files, the projects, my notes, my calendar, my deadlines, and made sure to the detail that I wasn't missing anything. And that's what I think about a lot with our back office, is that every single day, part of your time of business hour is you are looking at your back office. You're looking at your points. You're looking at the customers and ambassadors, your reports. You are working through that and having insight to your business. That is what you are in control of. You're sending out thank yous or messages or Starbucks cards to your ambassadors, to your customers. You're thanking them for trusting you with their health. You're calling them, troubleshooting, checking up on them. You should be looking and knowing when people are ordering, when they are turning off. You should know their products, all that great stuff. This right here, the report that we're about to look at, is the most critical, in my opinion, report that we've been given. We just got it. It's hot off the presses, and that's why I wanted to walk through it with you. Whenever I first looked at it, I was like, oh my goodness, what does it mean? What do I do? How do I work it? How is it powerful? All that great stuff. And so I want us to be able to see this, because this allows us to know when people turn off their subscriptions. And I want you to understand this. Every one of your ambassadors should have their subscriptions turned on from the moment that they join. Amen? They should, as soon as they get a welcome pack, their subscription is turned on. Usually it's the triplex combo. They can add product to that, but it automatically sets up. The only way it's turned off is if they turn it off. And they don't even understand all those pieces. It's you educating them on the positives of why it's on, for their success, for their consistency, for them getting fully healthy. And so for it to be turned off would be you speaking into that in some way. So I would question why anyone is turned off immediately. So that's first and foremost of knowing how to do that. A lot of people, because you are not following up with your ambassadors, because you have a fear that they're going to turn off anyway, you are already breaking just that customer service excellence that you need to be doing if you're really making a priority of your business and really wanting to grow a business. Okay. So let's look at this. This is going to be part of everything that you do every single day, is being able to look at this. So here it is. If you look right here, you see that you have 40 days. And this is where changes are occurring in the last 40 days. You can go down to 30 days. You can go all the way down. We're going to look at that here in just a second. But you have 40 days. We're looking at levels 1 through 7, and we're looking at the days to expiration. So I'm not sure if I can see here. This is where you're wanting to look. See this days to forfeiture? This is how many days. If they are zeros, they are good. Their subscriptions are turned on. Right here, you see their total perks. So this is where their points are right here. You've got somebody with 300 points, 400 points, 250 points, okay? All of that information is here. Here's their current PV, which we're going to talk through. So their subscription might be turned on, but it's under 100 PV. Right here, 31 under 100 PV is where you're going to see some of these people. We're going to look at this in 1 second. And in the last 40 days on this report, 77 people have turned off their subscription. Now, the report I'm looking at, guys, is an Emerald report. So those 77 are my levels 1 through 7. This is why it's so critical that you, as a business builder, are looking at these reports every single day. You know your people better than I do. You need to be having those conversations with them. If I were to reach out to many of these people, they'd be like, who are you? Why are you calling me? I don't have a relationship with you. You're the ones that are there to love on them, to educate them, to help them fully understand what is going on and what is happening. Over here, you see that I have, in this report, 73 people between 100 and 149 PV, and 23 between 150 and 199, and then 0 that's over 200 is what you're seeing right here with this 40 days. Okay. Hopefully I'm gonna open you guys up a little bit so I can see y'all. Does that make sense to y'all? Everybody with me? Can I get some heads? Okay, perfect. All right. So moving on, this is what I want you to see. I am actually, okay, here's our days. Let's go down. Let's find somebody. I might have to cut off my days a little bit. I'm going to skip back. Oh, here's one with 2. Okay, where did that person go? Here we are. Okay, Kathy Shelton. She has, what this 2 means, guys, she has 2 days left. This is a person, if she's in your team, she's your ambassador, you need to get with her, because in 2 days, she loses 300 points, which is a free product. So number 1, you need to explain what perks are, which is super, super exciting that we have ways to earn points for free products. It can be products that they've never tried before, that they can add to it. It can be products that they want to share with a family member. They can get those products up to $650, $700, $1,000. They can use them monthly, or they can hold it until they get something even bigger. If you go into your perks reports, you're going to see all the different products, and they tell you how many points you need to get that for free. But 300 is a really big number. So in 2 days, if she does not turn back on her subscription, then she's going to lose those points. Now, I don't know in this one. Here's one that in 1 day, Marjorie Rout, in 1 day, so tomorrow, Marjorie will lose her 300 points. So that is what's happening right here. I don't know in my report. I was looking at this yesterday. I'm going to look real quick. So there's other reports. I think if I went back in days, we might see it. It would be a negative. You might see -2, -19, -17. That means that is how long they've lost their perks. Now, this is what I want you to hear about those people. If they are in the negative and you see that, it is still an excellent time for you to reach out to them, explain the enhancement of the perks points, what it means for them, what it can do for them, because they might want to turn that subscription back on. This is an area that can really, really grow our business. It's very much focused on retention, customer service, and being able to have these conversations of troubleshooting and different things like that with your people. They might be turning off, guys, because you might not have spent some time with them to troubleshoot and to have conversations with them. Now, this is what I want you to see, because this is the power of this. If I look at my 31 people that are under 100 PV, if you click on that, all of these are clickable. So if you click on that 31 under, look at all the people. These are people I need to have conversations with, okay? They have no perks points because they're under 100 PV. These are excellent conversations. Last month, if you look up here, this is in the last 40 days. So they have had 100 points and they've gone under their PV. You want to go and have conversations with them, share with them some of our new products, share with them about the Renew You, let them know of the different ways, troubleshoot to see what's going on with them, how they're feeling, different conversations like that. Now, a lot of ambassadors say, well, I don't turn on my subscription. I just order whenever I need something. That's just a conversation around consistency. Because we should be using up our products every 30 days. Our products, that's how they're created, is to be an ongoing every 30 day if they're taking them consistently. So that might need to be a conversation of, hey, talk to me a little bit about how you're taking your products. Are you taking them mornings and nights? How many probios? How many BioCleanse? All those conversations. Tell me how you're feeling. And if they're like, I just don't feel like it's working for me, or I really did this to lose weight and I'm not losing weight. Have you tried Lean? Have you tried MetaBurn? It's a brand new product that we have. So having those conversations with them, it's an excellent way to be able to do that. If you click over here on 77 subscriptions have been canceled, you're going to see everyone in the last 40 days that have canceled and the conversations that you can have with them. This is what I love so much about this, is that you can come down to the last 10 days, the last 30 days, different things like that. So in the last 10 days, guys, we are January the 7th. So at the end of December, 8 people went under 100 PV. It's going to bring up who those 8 people are. Some of these people, because it was in that time frame, then they're going to be able, maybe it was because it was Christmas or, you know, things were going on. So those are great, great conversations to say, hey, just checking in, want to see what was happening. 15 people turned off their subscriptions. Those are the areas where you're like, okay, urgent, need to have conversation. We need to talk through these different things and what's going on. So always realize that these are great conversations for you to have about different products, troubleshooting, talking through their order. Another really big area that I want you to understand, let me stop the share real quick. Was that helpful to see all of that and how that works? Excellent. Okay. Another great thing is for you, and I love this, guys. I was talking to one of my brand new clients today, and she was like, I have a lot of questions. And so we talked through, and she was like, I'm never hungry. I'm missing lunch. Like, this isn't going to work for me because I don't need to lose weight. And I said, okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. So you've been on the products for 10 days. What was your eating schedule before Plexus? Oh, well, I work all day. I don't take a lunch hour. We eat like whatever's left over the night before people bring to work the next day, and we just find time to eat, but I never sit down to eat. Okay, so you actually weren't eating before Plexus. Well, no, I guess I wasn't. So actually, you have more energy now, but you're eating about the same. It was like they had to work through this conversation, but they were kind of ready to quit. And it's only been 10 days. And they were like, I do feel better. My energy is better. And I guess you're right. I guess the slim, because they were freaked out that the slim was just going to keep them from eating. Well, you're not eating anyway. And when you're eating, it sounds like right now you're eating lots of starches. So I really think if you even give it another week or 2 weeks, I even think that your taste, like you're just going to reach for things that are better for your body. So let's just see. Well, then they got excited. Do you see the things that can happen just in the conversation? So don't be afraid of that. But this is what I want you to hear about subscriptions that a lot of people don't understand. So say you call them and say, hey, wanted to catch up, see how you're doing, see how you're feeling. I don't know if you realize that we have Plexus Perks now. I know that you're not, kind of, maybe you didn't see the email. Let me tell you a little bit about that. Every month with your subscription turned on, you get a free product. You build up credits and then you get a free product, maybe something you haven't tried yet. And I really want to encourage you on a couple of different products. I want to talk about that in just a minute, but I just kind of want to hear what that's all about. And so they're going to be like, oh, that is so cool. Say, I saw that you turned off last week and I just wanted to check on it. Well, it was Christmas and it got a little bit nervous because we overspent for Christmas. Guess what you get to say? I completely understand. We overspent a little bit too. But you probably didn't realize, I want to share this with you, that you can actually move your subscription date out. You don't even have to cancel it. You just move your date out. And if you keep your subscription turned on, you get to keep your perk points. But if you turn it off, you lose all of the points that you had. So I really want to get you turned back on because in about 3 days, you're just going to lose them completely. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. Help me turn back on. The great thing about those conversations is you can even say, let's log in real quick. Why don't you log in and I'm going to talk you through it. They get to their subscription and you can say, let's click on your subscription. Do you see where it says view and edit? Yeah, I see that. Why don't you click that for me? Do you see up there where it says change date? Yeah, I see that. Click that for me. Do you see the calendar that it brings up? Okay, on that calendar, let's just push that out. Maybe move it to mid-January. Would that be helpful? Yeah, that would be great. Okay, let's just move that out. And then scroll down a little bit and you have to click on save. If you don't click on save, it's not going to save it. So a lot of people don't even realize that calendar is in that little box, but you have to move that calendar up to click the button or it doesn't save the edit. You walking through that with them, you just built loyalty, you just built trust, you just built a bigger bond in your relationship. They now see you as an advisor, they see you as an educator. You have just brought longevity to your relationship and growing your business and retaining a customer possibly for life because you took the time to educate them, to help them, and you gave them back their own power that they didn't even realize. Does that make sense? So you want to work that through that. Then you go, okay, let's talk a little bit about the perks. Tell me the products that you're taking right now. When are you taking them? How are you feeling? What are your health goals for 2020? Share that with me a little bit. Well, I want to lose a little bit of weight. Okay, well, you can tell about lean. You can tell them about MetaBurn. And then you can share with them, maybe that's the one that you want to get whenever you get those credits. I would love for you to try MetaBurn. I think you're going to love it. So now you've advised them and you've gotten them super, super excited about something. They might go ahead and order it just because they don't want to wait. And then they can use those credits later for lean, right? It is the greatest conversations. We should not have fear around having conversations with our clients, customers, and ambassadors. Another really great thing is this is a great upgrade for your customers. Maybe your customers have been loving all of this, and it's a great way for them to be able to grow into your business a little bit more. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope, will you give me a thumbs up if that was good for you? I want you to start looking at that every day. It's super exciting, but we have to work together as a team to be able to make sure that we're retaining and keeping. Their success is your success. The whole reason that you brought them on here is because you care about them, you love them, you want them to have longevity, you want them to have quality of life. Just teaching them this process and giving them something excited about learning to be able to even have a free product to try is super exciting. So it's going to give you a great way to encourage them into their new year. Okay, guys, thanks for being with me tonight. And I am going to turn off our